How's it going, everybody? Vegeta saying, what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies? Here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball content. Today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the GoD Toppo that we just got and look at some of the best equips for him and where to find them. With that in mind, real quick, I just want to apologize really quickly for kind of dropping out for the last few days and not uploading the Drunk God Key PvP that I said I was going to upload. That is going to be going up at some point this weekend. And I do want to apologize for the lack of consistency. It's just that as a teacher, I did start up the school year again this year. So the last week and a half or so has been really kind of hectic for startup and whatnot. But with that in mind, now that we're actually in the thick of things and I have the first week under my belt and kind of know what my schedule is going to look like, I will be back to regularly uploading. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. So to start things off, we have the Awakened and this one is the one that's got Whis on it. It's pretty easy to come by. You can either use your equipment medals or your Z medals. And what's nice about this one is this actually works for, I believe it's any GoD Key unit. Yeah, it's any GoD Key unit. And the last slot is going to be choosing between Blast Attack or Strike Attack at quite a high number of 21.5. You're also getting a very decent Strike Defense and then Critical in the middle. So I would argue that this is one of the better GoD Key equips to have, just in terms of kind of just putting out some basic damage and whatnot. And yeah, pretty easy to come by. Again, you can use your equip medals from PvP or your Z medals. Let's hop on to the next one. Next, we have the Awakened Here I Come, and this one's really solid because you're either going to be getting a tremendous amount of strike defense as well as blast defense with a nice little bump to blast attack, or you're going to be getting a nice double offense, double defense equip. The ones that I have are both double offense, double defense, and I really enjoy using this one. The only issue with this one is it is kind of hard to come by because you're going to obviously need to use your rush medals or your Ultra Space Time rush medals to exchange for the Awakening. And then let's hop over to the game to see where you can actually get the unawakened version. So we do have a little less than 2 weeks left for this one, but we have the EX Kaba event going on that still is actually in the old format. It's not one of the maps. And I highly recommend whenever you have one of these, the best place to kind of farm the equips is usually the last one. It's going to be good to farm whatever the equips are for that given event. So that's kind of the only really big issue here, is that this is kind of time locked. So if you are going to try and farm this one up, I would really recommend at the very least going in and getting some A's right now just to kind of keep on inventory for when Ultra Space Time Rush resets. And yeah, that's really my best recommendation for if you want to farm this one. Next up, we have the Awakened You're Pissing Me Off, and this one comes from co-op, actually. So make sure that you're doing your daily co-ops. You'll be able to get 3 of the unawakened copies every day, and then you can use, obviously, your Ultra Space Time Rush medals to then awaken it. This one I really, really like just for the offense that it provides. And I guess the health restoration's okay. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, considering you're probably not going to be running him with Vados. I mean, you could on a green-green-yellow setup, but, you know, if you're, say, running him with the blue Toppo, who is giving a team heal, then, you know, it's still nice to have some health restoration. And I'm actually not too familiar with Toppo's kit. He may actually have some health restoration built into there as well. Yeah, so he is healing himself on the main ability, so health restoration is definitely still usable. Next we have the Awakened You're Gonna Die, and this is actually an equip that I have maybe considered like twice in my entirety of doing these. I've really rarely ever seen it, and that's because it's kind of got some weird conditions. It is green ranged, which I guess is actually pretty vague, but the fact that it's a silver equip, I think that's one that people ignore a lot, and they do come at a cheaper cost when you buy the Awakenings in the Ultra Space Time Rush Exchange shop, so that could definitely help. But you've got a choice of defense. It's going to be random, but regardless of what it is, it's 15% to strike or blast defense, which is very solid, and then blast attack at 18%, and special move at 12.5. So I would definitely say that this is definitely worthwhile for a more offensive build for him, which is probably what most people are going to do. He's not necessarily a defensive type unit, even though he does have solid defenses. And yeah, once again, it's pretty easy to come by. Now let's hop over to where you can find it. Once you go to the EX Raditz event, you'll be able to go to Chapter 3, and that's actually the only place you can find the unawakened version of this. But because it is the EX Raditz events, it's always going to be there, and you can just farm it whenever you feel necessary. So if you don't necessarily want to have it sitting in your inventory right now, you can always wait this out till the next reset for Ultra Space Time Rush. Next we have my favorite equip in the game, Hurry Up and Die. This one is going to be for every single range unit, and you can get this once again with your Z medals, so that thing you get when you pull a unit after you 14 star them. With this, you're getting Key Recovery, Special Move, Blast Attack, all at astronomically high stats for their respective stat, and yeah, I think I need to say less. This is just a phenomenal offensive equip that I think every range type unit should be running pretty much as a staple. Another one that we can get with our Z medals is the I'll just smash it to pieces. Now this one's really nice because it is giving double defenses, even though it is at a fairly low 13%, but then you're getting blast attack at 22%, and this is going to apply to every God Key unit. So for any ranged God Key unit, this is nice just to give them that extra little spice of defense, as well as a really, really nice blast attack stat. Next we have the Let's Go Vegeta equip. This one's really nice just because across the board it's got some really nice stats. The Awakened version of this only applies to God Key Goku characters, but the Unawakened version is still really, really solid, giving 18% to blast attack, 18% to defense, and 13% to special move, which I actually think is really nice because you honestly 13% is pretty much the highest I think you see for the most part when it comes to special move on equips. I think there's maybe a couple with 15, but 13 is pretty much maxing out. Now for this bad boy, we can go to the equipment collection and we'll actually find that it's going to be the third option. So it's really, really easy to grind, always going to be there, or at least until they swap up what equips are in here. And you got to go against Whis, the yellow God Vegeta, and the blue Goku that we all know as Zenkai Blueku. And they're very easy to take care of, so very easy to farm. Now last but not least, we have a very interesting choice, and this one I think is really cool because I think it's something that people didn't necessarily think about just based on his tags. We've got the tide of this battle is turning yet again. And this one's really nice because you're getting strike defense at the beginning, very nice at 15%, 10% to special move, also very nice. And lastly, now normally a lot of people have used this for Vados. I personally use this on my Vados to get the 10% to max health when you have a tag Angel, but when you have tag God of Destruction, you're getting 10% to blast attack, which was originally meant for Champa, but actually works really, really well for Toppo, because if we take a quick look, he actually has the God of Destruction tag, and that's pretty cool. So we're actually going to be able to give him a pure buff to his main offensive stat. With that in mind, that's going to be that, and yeah, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and with that in mind, I think the only thing with Toppo is he is a bit limited since his tags are kind of smaller, but the equips that he does have access to are really, really strong. So yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Definitely going to be back to regular uploads now that we're kind of back into the groove of things at work, and I will see you all then. Peace out.